Ali Devar, what's up, man?
What's up, Rob? How are you?
Good. Hey, I gotta do my just mic.
There you go.
It's one of those Mojo Mondays. Got to get it in. Hey, man, as always, I wanna get you on here so we can really dig deep on the Reston numbers, see what's happening, see if anything's shifting, see what we need to do. Right. This adds a lot of immense value to the marketplace because people need to know, are things continuing to go up? Are they shifting? Are they
Hmm.
stabilizing? Like what's happening, right? And we pulled some numbers this morning, and it's interesting because I'm always a fan of the numbers tell us a story, and we need to be paying attention to the story. So, what do you see? What's going on? What's happening? Give us the data. Give us the scoop.
Exactly. Right now the market is a lot of people want to know exactly what's going on in the market week by week. And sometimes I talk to some agents and they tell me, I feel like this is happening, or I feel like, the market is shifting. But it's very important to look at the numbers and look at the data and make sure the one-off stories that we look at is also makes sense at the larger picture. So I think right now we still like looking at rest and numbers. We see the same stories. There's very, very little inventory. Now, with that, we're going to talk a little bit about some things that have been sitting on the market. That's interesting to look at. But first of all, there was 199 new listings that came on the market in April. That's up slightly, about 5% over the month of March. But that was over 40% in comparison to 2020. Any idea why?
Well, everybody, the market froze right in
Yeah.
April of last year, right? COVID hit the middle of March, it's like an actual pandemic, and then the world shut down on us. But then it started in the world of real estate. It started opening back up, right? Um, so yeah, that's interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, I think as I remember correctly, probably in mid-May, things were started to move again in real estate. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen next month with these numbers. A lot of new listings that came on the market in comparison to last year, but overall, we still see very few properties actually just stay on the market. A lot of properties are selling really quickly. I've even seen things where I thought I think maybe the seller might be pushing the price here, and I still see those go under contract for a price that surprises me. So it's a very fast moving market.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm always looking at the data in our farm area. I get these daily emails whenever there's any kind of price adjustments, and I've been
Mhm.
noticing more price adjustments, downward price adjustments, in the last 2 to 3 weeks than I've seen all year. Right. So I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
maybe, and that's just more of a feeling. I don't know what the numbers tell us, but I think maybe what's happened with certain types of product, um, you know, sellers were pushing value, and then the market said, no, let's take a little bit of a breath. Or maybe that product just wasn't good for its condition, right?
Mhm.
But it's primarily been condos. Again, in the Reston market, there's definitely more condos available than single family homes or townhomes, right?
That's very
Can you
correct.
speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. So there's very few single family homes and townhomes. So when looking at those, there is very few single family homes that are sitting on the market. Majority of those, over half of those that are sitting on the market more than 10 days, and that might be considered like a long time right now in this market, are higher price point single family homes. Half of those were over 1.3 million, right? And that's a higher price point. But when you're looking at townhomes, that's not really the same story. About 30% of all the inventory that's on the market right now has been on the market for over 10 days. And one third of those been on the market over 3 months. So that inventory is not moving. It's the price in relation to the location, the time of the year, and really the condition of the home is just not right. The market is rejecting that product, but everything else is moving really quickly. In the condo market, half of everything that's on the market right now, half of all the condos in Reston have been on the market for over a month. And a
Mm-hmm.
quarter of all the condos that are on the market right now have been on the market over 3 months. That to
Wow.
me
Wow.
is a long time, right? That seller needs to understand, I need to change something because time here is, the biggest cost. It's costing you money. You're burning cash every day that you're on the market at that point.
Do we know, did you pull the data for expireds in April? Because I know that when we talk to our inside sales team, they normally pull the data for all expireds in the Nova area, and they noticed that there was definitely more expireds in the entire area than there had been, the entire year, like from January, February, March, right? April had, when April ended, there was definitely more expireds than they'd seen in months prior. Did you pull that data by any chance?
Yeah, so there is actually, when I compare the data from now to 3 months ago versus 3 months ago to 6 months ago, the expired data in Reston is almost the same. There's 65 expires last 3 months, there's 66 in the past 3 months before that. So now that is very little.
Let me stop you there though. Isn't that crazy? Like even in this market, there were 65 homes that failed to sell. Like that's what people don't understand is that, hey, yes, there is a good portion of homes that failed to sell because they weren't advised correctly, right?
Correct.
Is that
exactly.
fair statement, right? Or maybe there were, people just think, hey, let me just list it and I could sell it, which is not the case, right? You need to get the mix correct.
Absolutely. That is so powerful. In this market, a lot of sellers might think, I just need to put it on the market. It's going to sell itself. You're leaving a lot of money on the table if you do that, right? Doing the right things, getting the time right, marketing it correctly, and most importantly, getting the property ready, having great marketing around it, but getting the price right and the condition right, doing a little bit of work, not spending any money you won't get back, but doing a little bit of work to get you top dollar makes a big difference. So, and it's not that, oh, I might just sell for less. Sometimes you end up staying on the market longer and selling for a lot less. So just like you said, there's even in this crazy market, there's 65 homes that didn't sell in the past 3 months. And that is a lot. And that shows you don't leave money on the table. It's a great market, but you just want to maximize. You want to make sure you're maximizing.
Interesting. So I cut you off. You were going to say something, right?
Yeah. So in the past, literally the 3 months, in the past 3 months in comparison to before that, but I see the same number of expireds. I didn't drill down to look at the details of that. I just looked at it at the very just at the top very quick, and it's just the same number. And that's just not a lot overall in comparison to what it used to be, but still a big percentage of the sales we see. So there's still a good number of homes that don't sell. And it really comes down to price, condition, and how the property is marketed.
I would suspect that out of those 65 homes that failed to sell, I'm just going to take a guess. I'd say maybe 85% were condos.
I will look at that and find out.
Yeah, look at that data. Yeah. I think that's an interesting follow-up. Like you could put in the comments, like because this is going live on our different channels. So just put it in the comments and see what that percentage was. That would be interesting, right?
Absolutely.
And so the other thing is, what about the percentage of single family homes? Actually, something you said to me earlier that I thought was interesting. You said there was a number of townhomes that were sitting. I thought that was interesting. Is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So there is, when you look at the overall amount of inventory on the market right now, there's 35 homes that are active right now in Reston, right? And it's a small number, but 10 of those, that's about 30% of everything, has been on the market over 3 months. And that's a very long time, right?
Wow. Interesting. That's interesting. Well, cool. Well, we will continue to track this. Was there any final thoughts that you had on it?
Well, I also track the median price increase, and I'm, in a couple of days here, we'll have the May numbers to see what happened in April. But in the month of March, property values in Reston, on average, median price went up 13% in comparison to 2020. So that's a huge change. That's a
big change, right? Huge change. Actually, there was something that you reminded me of that it have to do with, I can't remember now, We'll write it in the comments if I remember it. Did it have to do with withdrawn? Oh, no, this is what it is. I remember now. If 10 of those properties have been sitting for, did you say 30 days or more, or was it 90 days or more?
Actually, it was 30 days. I think I said 90 days.
Okay.
30 days.
30 days or more. That is opportunity for a buyer, right? Because that seller right now is saying to themselves, what's going on? What's happening? They're starting to feel a certain amount of anxiety around that. And many buyers have probably said they've just looked at that inventory and said, I'm not interested. And they're looking for all the new hot stuff. But the opportunity lies in that stuff that's been sitting out there for 30 days or more, right? You can negotiate a great deal with somebody that has to sell, right? But they've just mispriced the house. So anyhow, with
I
that,
think
my
that's
friend,
a great point, Rob, because we're talking about it from the lens of a seller, from lens of a buyer. I mean, it's very stressful right now. It's crazy times when trying to buy a home. I think there's three things you could change to help you be able to secure a property right now. One is the strategy. Am I really applying the right strategies when I find the right home to be able to put it under contract, right? And the second is maybe I'm competing against people that have more cash, and here's my situation, can't go outside of that. How do I win? So the second is what you just mentioned. There are still things that are sitting on the market, and that's an opportunity. You have leverage as a buyer. If you're not competing, you could get what you want. You could get seller subsidy if you needed to. If you could win with a not paying crazy amount of over listing price. Or third is time. Maybe you can look at the time and see, is this the right time to buy, or should I wait a little bit, right? Now, as we just mentioned, there's like some number of properties that are expired. We just had an agent on our team that put a property on the contract that wasn't on the market for one of their buyers. They found something in Reston. They put it on their contract for their buyer because they were targeting a specific area, and he was able to find a home and directly talk to the seller. So you just have to see what are the different ways in this market that I could win without having to compete with everybody, unless I have a strategy when I'm competing with everybody that I could win. So there's still many, many ways as a buyer you could win in this market.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, well, we promised ourselves we're going to keep these short and sweet and to the number, just specific on the numbers. But thank you so much for sharing this Monday, right? Everybody go out there and make it an awesome Monday. I've got to go pick up my wife right now, and she's calling me saying, where are you? So anyhow, man, you take care. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, Rob. Take care. Bye-bye.